Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you being here with us. Today is a Thursday, the 14th day of May in the year of our Lord, 2026. I hope you've had a great morning so far, and I hope the last 21 hours since we last visited have gone well as well. As you can tell, I am here, Big Sky Mountain Mosley, also here making sure we can broadcast to as many people, not only in the state of Alabama, but around the globe. Sky, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you very much. How's it going?
It's going good. Going good. The got everything going. I think YouTube is hopefully working over there, and
I'll check into that.
Yeah, only a few copyright violations yesterday. You know, I don't know. It is what it is, but it's all right. I'm just doing the hey, go erase it. I don't care what y'all say. Erase the part that you think is copywritten.
No problem.
And you know, maybe it's like really low volume. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really small. I don't think it's anything you're doing, Sky.
Okay, good. Because
I really don't, because I don't know how to do it better. Now, Ann was here yesterday, so I had more button mashing. So
you had a lot more
maybe that was the problem.
So today, no runs, no drips, no errors. That's our
Absolutely.
goal. Okay, as always.
No runs, no hits, drips,
that's
errors.
what I meant.
No runs, no hits, no errors. Okay.
Yeah.
But we want hits. We want runs. I don't understand. Maybe it's a red top thing, a painter's thing. No runs,
Play
no
defense.
drips, no errors. The lots of interesting stuff. I don't know if y'all are prepared for the Summer of Love 2.0 that we're probably going to get. It's probably going to be one of the most fun summers to comment on that there has been in a while. And we'll have to keep in mind that so much of it is going to be fabricated. Look, the Summer of Love was fabricated. Let's just be honest. There was no grassroots movement for people to be angry and go out and burn their own cities and neighborhoods down. And we probably should be honest. The fires were probably started, the real violence was probably started by a bunch of scrawny, anorexic-looking, arguably low testosterone, but probably high on mind-altering drugs, maybe prescription, skinny, white Antifa guys is what my guess is. A lot of the visuals of the violence of the Summer of Love was probably scrawny, white, little Antifa boys.
Those are the anti-fascists that behave like fascists?
Yes, the anti-fascists who are fully fascist. And look, one of these days we're going to do a show on fascist and fascism. Because I can go ahead and tell you, I'm not an expert, but it was one of those topics where I started looking into it just a little bit, and I thought, oh, not again. Not again. Because I have a very, but now look, don't say that I'm preaching the gospel, okay? I just have this feeling from a cursory look that when you go and look, I'm saying you, we, all of us, any of us, if we do, and I've not stepped off into the water yet. I barely put a toe in the water just to see. That I'm greatly worried that the people who made up and began to use the word fascism and said, hey, we're fascist, might not be crazy. There is a chance. Now, I want to go back to something we talked about yesterday to ease the pain of that statement, possible pain of that statement. Uncle Tom. Gwendolyn Gavan said that Clarence Thomas was Uncle Tom. Had never done anything for, what was the word she says? Or he was, Riggin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Riggin. That's just horrible, that whole statement. Disgusting.
But Clarence Thomas is Uncle Tom. Anybody who happens to be black and is conservative, Uncle Tom. But we did the research, Sky. You probably knew because you were educated. That Uncle Tom was the hero
It's a beloved character.
in Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel. Uncle Tom is the guy who will not give up the two younger girls who were escaped slaves.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he's the guy that takes the brunt of standing up for two young ladies who escaped slavery. He's a slave, so he takes the... And I have not read the book, so I don't know what the punishment is, but he is the hero. He is the good guy. And somehow in our uneducated, upside down, we don't really care, we just say stuff world, he is now, to be called Uncle Tom is a slur. Now, if that is possible, Sky, is it entirely possible that we find out that, quote, fascist may be deeper than we think? It doesn't seem like it should be. My gut reaction is like, fascist? Ain't no stinking fascist. What did fascists believe? I mean, think about it. If we went out in America today and said, what do fascists believe? What's the answer?
Nationalism.
Okay, are we opposed to nationalism?
Some of us are. It's a
No,
bad thing.
even the ones who are opposed to nationalism are they're globalist.
Well, patriotism.
Yeah, okay, patriotism.
Strongly.
We aren't opposed to patriotism. There's a very good chance the fascists were like, hey, we have, one of the things that the fascists apparently were for. I'm just saying, I've just barely, I could be wrong. Strong family values.
There's another.
Traditional values. Hold on. I think there's a chance there was a little aspect of Christian values in there. So exactly, what were we mad about? But what we think is fascist, we don't even really think about what it is. It's you know what? So Joel is a fascist. Oh, I hate Joel. Well, what does Joel believe? Why are you calling him a fascist? Well, he doesn't agree with what we're for. Well, what are we for? Now look, I don't know. I'm just saying there is a chance. Should I look up in the break and just see if I can see what were the tenets of fascism?
Oh, here's another.
Okay.
Fascists were strongly anti-communist.
Ooh.
Yeah,
is there a chance that the heavy communist influence in the United States said we must make them the enemy no matter what? Let's see. Let me just look. The old Googles. What were the main beliefs of the original? Would that be Italian?
Mussolini, yes.
How do you spell it? Fascists? Fascists? Question mark.
Very good.
See what they say here. AI. The original Italian fascist, led by Benito Mussolini in the early 1920s, promoted a radical right-wing ideology. Let's see. The original MAGA Americans, led by Donald Trump in the early part of the 21st century, promoted a radical right-wing ideology focused on extreme nationalism, authoritarianism, the creation of a totalitarian state. I'm asking. It says they viewed parliamentary democracy, liberal individualism as weak, inefficient, and divisive. Really? That sounds like what the left is for today. We're going to look into this during the break, and we'll get a little. Just because I said I haven't studied it. I'm just interested. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered. Right? You know what? I figured it out, Sky.
What's that? What'd you do?
It's picking it up off of my headphones.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
That's what it is, because as soon as I turn my mic on, it's going in. And I'm waiting to make sure that I don't get the feed from you, but since I have the master headphones, it's picking them up off that. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Man, they have some sensitive equipment there. Okay.
Regardless of the effect, the fact that you and I figured it out.
You figured it out. Well, we troubleshot it down.
We did. We said it can't be this, can't be this. That I'm just happy. We can just stop the show. You know, when people say, well, are you proud of yourself? Yes, indeed.
We've satisfied YouTube. Let's call it a day. Forget it, man.
Just figuring out that that's what it probably is gotta be. Huh. Let's go to somebody else who figures a lot of stuff out. Let's go to Red Top. Red Top, welcome to the program. Happy Thursday to you. It's Happy Ascension Day, by the way. This is the day that we celebrate Jesus' ascension to heaven, and then the Holy Spirit, I think, comes down, a week later? And so you get Pentecost, is that right? So very good.
Praise the Lord.
I know Red Top's all on that. Red Top, welcome in. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, and a beautiful day here, and you're right, that's a big-time Catholic holiday.
Yep, a bunch of the Orthodox folks do it too, apparently.
Well, yes. And by the way, the Russians are Orthodox Christians.
Yes, they are.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of the old who were from Central Asia. The Russians are the Christian Tartars, believe it or not. The rest of the Tartars are Muslim, and they are a vicious crowd of barbarians. Now,
are you getting that from Tartaria?
Call me a fast. You know what I would say to somebody that called me a fascist, Scott?
What would you call them?
I know you are, but what am I?
I'll give you that. Touche. Touche.
That scene, still to me, is one of the funniest scenes I've ever had seen in my life in a movie.
Is that Pee-wee? We're talking about Pee-wee?
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
Hello!
Pee-wee want to chime in.
I have to say, the beginning of the Pee Wee Herman movie, The Breakfast Machine, is one of the most incredible things I've. So, okay, back to reality. I think it's useless to talk about fascism in the 21st century because not only does nobody know what it means, they don't even give a damn. Anybody under 30 does not even.
Oh, you're cutting.
Under 30 crowd.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out for some reason, Red Top. I don't know if it's the phone, sunspots.
Drop out there, yes.
I'm going out to Pike Road. Is that getting any better?
Yeah, you're okay right now. We just lost you a little earlier, but we got the point that no one under 30 even knows. And look, I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure how many Americans over 30 have any idea because I can't say that I did. I'm looking at the Google overview of the concept, but then I made the mistake of actually going and reading a document written in 1932 by Benito Mussolini, and it doesn't exactly line up with what AI says.
Well, what AI said, I find the AI more and more biased all the time. What you just read that AI said is very, very twisted.
Yeah, that's the feeling I get, Red Top, and there's definitely a move going on to. Wikipedia was bad enough, but AI is going to do its best to make sure that whatever we look up, whatever definition we're looking for, has been turned into what's from the movie 1984, Truth Speak. Whatever their version of the truth is what AI is going to give us.
Well, this is obviously not true machine learning. Otherwise, it would not have so much human influence, do you think?
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's also, it weights things based on how popular the different articles it's quote-unquote learning from. So if you have someone out there actively promoting a certain viewpoint, AI will, quote, learn that viewpoint. And the example I'm going to give you, there was a group that went out and created an illness. They were at some college. They made up an illness, wrote articles about the illness, promoted the illness and all its symptoms, and AI believes it's a real illness. And I think they named it, like the doctor who supposedly discovered it was their Latin name, or their name in Latin meant like big fat liar. And AI just soaked it up and put it out as a fact. Because it has no ability to tell right from wrong, truth from fiction.
Yeah, so it's obviously never going to replace humans. Thank goodness. Now, this morning I got caught again, guys, at a gas station talking to a guy about his new truck, and he said, well, wait a minute. I know who you are. I hear you on the radio all the time. I cannot escape.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, if you want to be have your voice be well known in Central Alabama, then be on this radio show. That's the way you do it.
There ain't no doubt about it. Roll Tide, go.
Roll Tide, go Trump. Thank you, Red Top. Happy Thursday to you. You know, the advertisers know that, Sky. So
That's right. Radio works. Even Red Top is well known because of.
Well, I'm sure it helps business. No doubt about it.
You better believe it. Absolutely. He's booked up solid.
The number of listeners are amazing. Now, listen to this. Golly, I don't know how I got on this guy, but our listeners are thinkers.
No doubt.
So I said I went and read the 1932 Benito Mussolini, or just part of it during the break, just part of it, okay? It says, so he wrote this in 1932, like all sound political conceptions, fascism is action, and it is thought, action in which doctrine is immanent and doctrine arising from a given system of historical forces in which it is inserted and working on them from within. It is therefore a form correlated to contingencies of time and space. So there's a philosophical part. And then it says fascism, this is about the fourth or fifth paragraph, wants man to be active and to engage in action with all his energies. It wants him to be manfully aware of the difficulties besetting him and ready to face them. Sounds a little bit like rugged individualism, doesn't it?
Certainly does.
It conceives of life as a struggle in which it behooves a man to win for himself a really worthy place, first of all by fitting himself physically, morally, intellectually, to become the implement required for winning it. As for the individual, so for the nation, and so for mankind. Hence the high value of culture in all its forms, artistic, religious, scientific, and the outstanding importance of education. Hence also the essential value of work, by which man subjugates nature and creates the human world, economic, political, ethical, intellectual. The positive conception of life is obviously an ethical one. And then it goes down to say the moral purpose of man, be serious, austere, and religious. All of its manifestations are poised in a world sustained by moral forces and subject to spiritual responsibilities. The fascist disdains an easy life. Is that not a little concerning?
That's everything a leftist hates. I'll give you that.
I'm telling you, it's
self-sufficiency.
It's troubling.
Pride in yourself.
It is troubling. We got to take a break. We'll be back. The Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Don't forget to check out Brian Dawson's podcast, 1819 News, the podcast. I told you last week's was really, really good. This week he has Chad Jackson on. The title of the 1819 News podcast this week is The History of the SPLC and the Left's Response to Redistricting. Now, Chad O. Jackson is a Black American. You may recognize him as very, very, very courageous. Now we've said it on this program, but this program is different than other people's programs. But he has really brought to light the truth, the facts of the legendary Martin Luther King Jr. and who his real buddies were, who his real supporters were, what he really believed in, the fact that he wasn't a Christian, that he was trained at that leftist school in Tennessee, whatever it was. I think the same one Rosa Parks was at. He was there for a small amount of time, or for an amount of time. So it was not this grassroots kind of movement thing. But so Chad Jackson is one of those individuals, and he's talking to Brian Dawson on 1819 News, the podcast this week. You go check that out. It's about the Southern Poverty Law Center and the whole everybody losing their mind on redistricting across the country. Good show. I'm positive it's a good show. I haven't listened to it yet, but I did listen to the one last week that was with Pastor Lusk that dealt with Zionism, Israel, and a bunch of those questions that we also have talked about here. And the good thing about this program, it's a little different in that, hey, look, we're a family. All of y'all who listen are part of the family. Y'all know that y'all don't agree with me all the time. I'm sure I won't agree with y'all all the time. But we still have these discussions, and we still have questions. And it's okay to ask questions. And if somebody has the answers, then we'll yield to the answers and we'll yield to the truth. That's what we do here. We also are not too big in our britches to say that we have the answers, like what we've talked about this morning. Fascism. I don't know what fascism is. I know in my mind that I have taken the word fascism and I've compartmentalized it over here to know that if somebody says I'm a fascist, they don't like me. And if somebody says, well, what do the fascists believe? We say things like, well, they're, and we describe communism.
Very good.
Is that not what we do?
Yes. Totalitarian central government.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we do. So, and it just occurred to me, I'm not really sure what they believe. And then when I go and look it up, I get AI's version and then DARE. I mean, I don't even know if you're supposed to. It's probably like other bad guy writers. You're not supposed to go and read what they wrote, right? Now, if the guy
we'll tell you what you need to know.
We'll tell you what. Yeah, exactly right. We'll tell you what you need to learn. So I'm looking through this article, and some of the points of this paper make some sense. Now, does it mean that the fascists weren't for the government? Yeah, they were. But that's what the left is for in this country. So how the left runs around and calls the right, who believes in individual liberty and genuine freedom and free markets, fascist, basically the left has decided that if you tell them that what they support is wrong, you're a fascist.
Exactly.
That is the modern American definition of fascism. Hey, I want big, burly, hairy men in thongs teaching and reading to elementary school students and teaching them about morality and how they should live. And if I say, no, we're not doing that, fascist! If you're opposed to debauchery, fascist. But here's the flip side for the leftist guy. They would absolutely use the power of government and have used the power of government to ensure that their religious worldview and their humanists, pagans, whatever, is forced on everybody else. But if everybody else says, oh, no, wait a minute. Whoa, hold your horses. We're not doing what you want to do. We're using traditional Christian values. They scream bloody murder. Thou shalt not. You will not pass. You will not tell us what to do, you fascist. But they fully intend to tell you what to do. They will teach your children what they believe is right and wrong. What you believe doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're ultimate control freaks.
And they're the tiny minority. They are apartheid. Can we say that? Can we say it that way? Does that get people upset?
So be it.
They're a little minority, and they have deemed themselves so superior that everyone else must live under their immoral rules and guidelines.
I don't know about you, but these modern people that call themselves Antifa, and they compare themselves. And this is the part that really gets me. They need a good slapping to World War II Americans who stormed Normandy, etc. Those brave. They compare to these blue-haired freaks.
Oh, I know. Yeah, the freedom fighters.
Oh yeah, they're real tough guys. They don't even deserve to be mentioned in the same sentence. But that's what they imagine themselves to be. It's a lot of pretending going on there in the little Antifa boys club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, there's no doubt. Listen to this, because this is a weird thing, and people act. I guess that's the response, is that we're really quick to read something and then make a real quick judgment, and then that's the answer. Things like this are a little more complicated. Listen, this is from Mussolini. The fascist state organizes the nation. Oh, no. But it leaves the individual adequate elbow room. It has curtailed useless or harmful liberties. Think about that. What would be a useful or harmful liberty?
I don't know. Freedom of the press, speech.
Gay marriage. Transgenders, teaching your kids.
Oh, that kind
Pride
of
parades. I don't know that that's what he's talking about, but listen up. In such matters, the individual cannot be the judge, but the state only. So now you're like, oh my gosh, the state's going to tell what's right and wrong. That's terrible. We got to stop that. Separation of church and state. Separation of church and state. Right?
Oh, if you want to twist it into how they do, I see.
The fascist state is not indifferent to religious phenomena in general, nor does it maintain an attitude of indifference to Roman Catholicism, the special positive religion of Italians. The state has not got a theology, but it has a moral code. The fascist state sees in religion one of the deepest of spiritual manifestations, and for this reason, it not only respects religion, but defends and protects it. The fascist state does not attempt, as did Robespierre, at the height of the revolutionary delirium of the convention, to set up a god of its own, nor does it vainly seek, as does Bolshevism, to efface God from the soul of man. Fascism represents the God of aesthetics, saints, and heroes, and it also respects God as conceived by the ingenuous and primitive heart of the people, the God to whom their prayers are raised.
It's a lot to unpack.
That's you got to dig through a little bit of that. We got to take a break. Thank you for listening. We will be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Welcome in, everybody. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Thank you for listening to the program. And let's get going. Well, you know what? Let's get out to the phone call.
We're not going yet.
We haven't taken. No. We were just
Uncle Tom and
just talking back and forth. We got a good story.
Just one quote.
Okay.
That Napoleon, you've heard of him.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he was really short.
I think he was. I understand Josephine was a little taller than him, even. But Napoleon said, "History is nothing more than an agreed-upon set of lies, a fable."
It doesn't surprise me.
No.
I mean, think of anybody you talk to, and you say, "Hey, look, I saw you were in an argument with Sally. What was that about?" Sally, she's a jerk. What a biddy. She said so and so. Okay, you got it. You wrote it all down, took notes. Then you go to Sally and you say, "Hey, look, I saw you were in an argument with Jill. What was it? You won't believe what she did to me. Last week she did so-and-so. So did you do this?" "Yes." "After she did that." And then one of them becomes queen. Okay. So which story is the one written in the history books?
Yes.
The one who became queen.
Of course.
Now, you and I both know that both of them were probably lying. But what happened? But I've been around kids enough to know that they will swear to a historical event. But when you ask enough questions, you find out that the fight didn't start on the sidewalk. It started at lunch. It started at breakfast. It started last Thursday. And you also find out that the kid that you were taken up for was the one that threw a can of green beans and hit the other one in the head earlier in the day. And you're like fully on the side of this kid. He's got to be the poor victim. And you find out later that the video shows he's not the victim. So if that all happens in a little bitty situation that doesn't matter, imagine what history is.
Yes. I think Napoleon was right. As we both started out down the same road and a little bit suspicious of what history tells us. And the more you dig into it, the more you become.
Do you want me to startle you again?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, all y'all brace yourselves. This. You might as well just pull over to the side of the road.
Oh, my. Okay.
Napoleon Bonaparte was approximately 5'6" to 5 feet 7 inches tall.
That's not too bad.
Which was average or slightly above average for a Frenchman in the early 1800s. The myth that he was exceptionally short originated from a misunderstanding of French measurements and British propaganda. Son of a buzzard.
Son of a gun. There you
Can
go.
you believe that? I would have bet my house
I thought we knew that.
up until 95 seconds ago. I would have bet my house that Napoleon was short.
5'4" under. I always thought.
Oh, I bet you 5'4" was probably average height.
British propaganda, you say?
Yeah, imagine.
How about that,
The British lying about people
about
that they
anything?
deemed were their enemies. Wait. Oh, I didn't say that. It also says, which was the only time ever the British have ever lied or would ever lie about anything that they disagree with.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
They say he was recorded at 5'2", except a French inch was longer than an English inch, making his equivalent 5'6" to 5'7".
Point. Match. Set.
We're done. We should just stop the show. The average height for a French male was 5'4" to 5'5". So he was actually above average in height. All right, here's the real big question. What was the average height of a British man in 1800? Watch those turkeys be shorter than them. No, 5'6" is what they say.
That's my guess. How about that? So, what have we learned?
Hey, you want to know the British again? The average height of a British man around 1800 was 5'6" to 5'7", while military records from that century indicate slightly lower averages. So the British have just
Keeps
said,
getting better,
"Oh no,
man.
we were taller than the French." That's just their
That's
whole
the
thing.
whole program, yeah. Man.
Oh my
goodness.
gosh, it is unbelievable.
A set of agreed upon lies, the man said. And
So Napoleon was not short, Sky.
no.
I can't even believe it. It's unbelievable.
Things that we knew so well and totally wrong.
Soldier data for English soldiers in 1800s, 5'4" to 5'5". How tall did we say the French were in 1800?
Right.
5'4" to 5'5".
5'5".
So the British, those big tooth,
Bean eating.
bean eating, they were lying about how tall they were on average. It's unbelievable. And then they went and said, "Oh yeah, Napoleon's a shorty." I can't believe it. I'm telling you, I'm actually stunned by that. Because you said too. I said, "What if he's not really short?" And oh no, that's a given.
That's a fact. Oh, we know this to be true. That's what we've been told all our lives.
Gosh,
You fascist.
do I even want to let you a bunch of fascists? Let's go to Clark.
Really?
Oh man, we should just stop the show after that. Napoleon was not short. Show over. Go find something else to do. Clark, welcome to the program.
Hey, now, let me add to the Napoleon was not short. What
Okay.
I had from like 25, 30 years ago was he was of average height, and he surrounded himself with 6'5", 6'6" poles,
Yeah.
so he wouldn't take a round.
No, are you kidding?
Yeah. So his personal bodyguards, who he surrounded himself with, so he wouldn't get shot, were very tall, and he did look short in comparison. So there's that. I wasn't there. That's just what I read, okay?
That's pretty pretty good.
On people using the word fascist
Yes.
or anti-fascist, whichever the case may be, you know one thing for sure when they use that term, Scott,
What?
they have absolutely no idea what the word means.
There's no doubt about that. And we get offended by being called fascist, and we don't know what the word means.
Well, okay, look. Let's do fascism real quick.
Okay.
Fascism, Keynesian socialism are one tick to the right of Soviet communism, okay? Now, with Soviet communism, the government owns the means of production and controls everything.
Right.
With fascism, the government controls the means of production and everything else. So the fascist doesn't believe that the state should seize ownership of the means of production. The state should only seize control. In other words, you get to own your business, Scott, and you'll keep owning it as long as you do what we say. Therein lies the only difference. And here's the thing. Both of those are so antithetical to the way you and I think that we really don't see a difference there.
Right.
But the difference is so much to those two groups that they will kill each other over it. Now, if we look at right versus left, or I guess it starts on the left and we read left to right. Let's start on the left. Communism, socialism. Eventually you get to democracy, then you have a republic, then maybe feudalism is somewhere maybe in between socialism and democracy, I don't know. Eventually, when you get to the right, where we believe in limited government, personal responsibility, and individual freedom, If you go far enough out, you'll get total anarchy. Now,
Yep.
total anarchy won't
Do we have
work.
to take a break, Sky? Are we that far?
Yes, we are.
Hey, Clark, let me
Uh-oh.
carry you over so you can have
Yeah.
more time on the other segment. We got to take a real quick break. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Filtered Radio. Thank you for listening to the program. Let's get right back out to Clark. Clark was talking about the differences between communism and fascism, and I actually think fascism is a little further than communism, further away from communism than Clark thinks, because I think just like Clark about a few weeks ago, and now I'm like, they're a little further apart, little bit further apart. And I would also say to Clark that we in America are literally leaning more towards fascism than we are a pure republic, because we're getting into the government decides what we do and can't do, and which businesses are supported, i.e. the green agenda. I mean, you can't get much more government controlled and government manipulated than we have gotten with green energy.
Good point.
Clark, you still here?
I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Keep
you.
going.
Okay. Yeah, no argument about we've gone way too far down the road of the government tells us what to do,
That's exactly right.
which is fascism. And, Congress doesn't do it. They've got all these different agencies that act on their behalf. So there is that. I said at the top of the conversation, you knew one thing, and that was the person using the term had absolutely no idea what it meant.
Yes.
There's another thing you know.
Okay.
Whoever told them to use that term is to the left of fascism because it's a derogatory term to them.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that. Very good point.
There is that. Now, if you go, and the leftists will tell you that it's on a circle, and if you go far enough to the right, you come back around to the left. That's not true. It's a straight line.
Yeah.
Because if you go far enough to the right, you have total anarchy, which we think of as a bad thing, Scott. But listen to me here.
Okay.
If we would all love the Lord our God with all our hearts and all our souls,
Mm-hmm.
and if we would love our neighbors as we loved ourselves, anarchy would, in fact, be the perfect form of government. Unfortunately, we won't do that. So, however evil government is, it is a necessary evil because man is evil.
Yeah,
And
because
so we
without
have to have
some
government.
form of government, there is no freedom or liberty.
Yes. So, and now, the government that is instituted to guarantee that freedom and liberty is a just government. The best government for the people is the government that is closest to the people.
Mm-hmm.
The best government for government is the government that is most centralized.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason, as governments gain power, they crave more power, and they want to centralize it more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is. I mean, and that's, our government's been our government for 250 years, and they crave more and more power. And, yeah, they're going down the road of more and more government control, which is, in fact, fascism. So there's that.
Hey, listen to this.
with
Listen to this thing. I got two questions or points on to talk about with you. So I'm looking at the differences. It's a website called Diffen.com, Diffen.com, and it's comparing communism to fascism. Now, the fascism thing always has this kind of a double-edged, because it'll say one thing, and then you're like, well, wait a minute. It's which is it? I'll give you two examples. One is communism, religion is abolished. That's what it says. All religious and metaphysics rejected. Fascism is a civic religion. Citizens worship the state through nationalism. So you think, it's nationalism is the religion. Not exactly. The state only supports religious organizations that are nationally/historically tied to the state. For example, in Romania, the Iron Guard in Romania supported the Romanian Orthodox Church. So it starts with a sentence about how it's nationalism, but no, it is tied to the historic religion of the people, which in America would be Christianity. So you get this two-edged definition. You read the first sentence, and you're like, oh, I hate that. It's terrible. Then they explain it, and you're like, wait a minute, that makes perfect sense. And then you go down to this one. Listen to this. It says one of the economic systems is a thing called autarky, which means national self-sufficiency. And you're like, hey, we should do that. That's being energy independent. That's being able to produce all of your own food. Hey, can we make everything we need here where we don't have to rely on other people? But then they throw in to do it, you need large public works. You need deficit spending. You're like, wait a minute. Listen to this. Anti-trade union. What? How do you get to be anti-trade union if you're going to have this everybody must be the same thing? Well, then it must not be quite what we've always been told. Then the last part. Listen to this guy. You're going to love this. Strongly against international financial markets, which, that sounds to me like strongly against international bankers. Don't forget, nationalism meant strongly against globalism. Now, here's the last word, Sky. It's going to make people crinkle up. Strongly against international financial markets and usury.
That's interesting.
Oh, shysters.
Oh, my. Oh boy!
I'm beginning to understand how you get on the bad side in this world we live in.
So, fascism is absolutely fine with religion.
Yes, as long as it's the historic religion of the people.
Well, and so long as fascism controls that religion.
Well, that's not what it says in everything I read. Even look, I read Mussolini's writing. Now he could be lying like everybody else, but his point was, no, we got to have the values of the Catholic Church if we want to be strong.
Wait a minute, hold on. Those collars that the Catholic priests wear are not piano wire proof, Scott.
All right. Well,
you start talking out against the fascist government, and you'll be hanging from a piano wire. That's just the way it works. Now, we want to say that they're nationalistic, and probably Adolf Hitler is the biggest fascist example that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And Adolf was all about some nationalism. The only problem is he wanted one nation, and that would be the whole globe when he got done.
Is that what he said?
So it's all. And,
no. Wait. I want to say, is that what he said?
I'm sorry?
Or is that what he said, or is that what the British said? The same British that said that Napoleon was short.
Strong. They needed room to spread out, and,
You mean they were a colonial power?
All of Europe and, Scott, I own a lot of property, and I covet that which joins me, so it's just human nature.
There you go. You're right. Look, I'm just saying. There apparently is two sides of these stories.
Yeah. Now, trade unions.
All right, hurry. We got to break out of here.
About communists and trade unions.
Uh-huh.
That is a transitory stage.
That makes sense.
Once they take control, you tell them you're going to go on strike. And it might not piano wire you, but it'll probably be a tribunal at midnight and execution at 4 a.m.
That's what always happens when you allow people to centralize power. You're absolutely right. Clark, I appreciate you, buddy. Great call as usual. We got to take a break. We will be right back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I am Scott Beason. Thank you for listening to the program. Let's get out to your phone calls. We've had a fascinating day. It's one of those philosophical discussion days, and I've learned a lot. I don't know if y'all have or not, but let's go out to Pat. Pat, welcome to the program. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
Earlier in your show, you made it. I'm doing really good, thank you. Really enjoying this beautiful weather.
Yes, sir.
You made a comment about how the 1819 news guy had done a podcast with somebody that did an interview, talked about Martin Luther King, and said he wasn't even a Christian.
Yes.
I've never heard that in any of my readings or writings and studying of history.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that guy's name again so I can look up that podcast.
Okay, so one of the things you can do...
And then the second thing is...
Can you hear me? Hey,
Yeah.
Okay, Pat, I was going to say, I'm going to get that guy's name, so go ahead and give me the second thing.
Okay, the second thing is when you're talking about history and who's lying the most. I had the honor interviewing Brigadier General Paul Tibbets, who was the pilot of the Enola Gay that dropped the first atomic bomb.
Yeah.
And one of his comments on the stage I'll never forget. He said, "After we dropped the bomb, I knew we had to win, or we would be tried for war crimes, because history is written by the victors."
Wow, Pat, that's pretty strong, actually. I mean, you think about it. Yeah, if you drop the atomic bomb and you lose, I mean, look, they executed all those Nazi officer guys, and well, how long did those trials take? Like a year or 2 years?
Nuremberg Tribunal.
That's another one you don't want to do research on, is how they ran those trials, because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not saying anybody's innocent, but it was cooked for sure. But
Yeah.
that's a really good point, Pat, because how do you just annihilate tens of thousands of people? I would have done it too to win the war. But, yeah, that's a really good point. All right, here's the guy's name, Chad O. Jackson. That's the guy. You can find his podcast. You can also, if you want to hear him talking about SPLC and stuff with Brian Dawson, go to 1819 News, the podcast. You can find it over at YouTube or at any other places you find the podcast. But Chad Jackson is the one that's really been doing a lot recently. And another thing you can do is go to... I think it's Stanford University. I'm recalling this myself. I haven't looked it up. Stanford University is where the archives are of Martin Luther King Jr.'s things he wrote. And my understanding, I may get one of these wrong, but he didn't believe in the virgin birth. He didn't believe, I don't think he believed in the resurrection. I think there was question about whether or not he believed in that Jesus was God. I think that's the big three. And if you have those three,
that'll do it.
You probably aren't a Christian.
Yeah, that's strike three, you're out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so you can check those, but I'm almost positive that's the top three, and it's pretty rough. Now, it's not the easiest to find. Good old AI will tell you Martin Luther King Jr. adopted a liberal theological approach that focused on the social gospel, focusing on justice and love rather than traditional Orthodox doctrines. While rooted in black church tradition, he questioned or rejected literal interpretations of core tenets like virgin birth and bodily resurrection, viewing them as scientifically and historically untenable.
Okay, well, then he obviously didn't believe in the omnipotence of God.
Correct.
So,
But think about it, Pat.
Okay.
You're not a spring chicken, are you?
No, I'll be 72 my next birthday.
Okay, so you'll be 72. I'll be 57. How is it that we're in 2026 and you and I, for all intents and purposes, are both just learning that?
Yeah.
Somebody did not want us to know that.
Somebody didn't want us to know it.
Correct.
Yep.
Pat, I appreciate you being a listener, man.
You have a good show. I mean, you have a good day. Bless y'all.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Bless you. Is it not? It's disturbing, Sky. It is absolutely disturbing. I mean, AI, it's right here. And look, they're using Discerning History as the website for that paragraph. But if you don't believe in the resurrection, you're not a Christian.
That's what it is, Jesus.
I mean, Paul says without the
Rose.
resurrection, we're all we got nothing.
Yeah, there's no
There's no there. There's no
point.
power there. It's just another good guy saying some good stuff, and he dies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is bothersome.
It's troubling. It's disturbing. It really is.
I mean, I feel bad. You know how many people listen to this program who found out today that Martin Luther King Jr. is not a Christian and that Napoleon is not short?
That's two big truths to drop on people in 1 hour, you know?
Oh my gosh. How did we get to where we are?
It's a show about, Seinfeld was a show about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a show about questions.
It's a show about questions.
Yeah.
You want me to make it worse?
Oh, please don't.
No, you want to know how tall Napoleon's wife was?
Josephine. 6'10". No. Wait, I want to guess again. Hang on. 5'5".
5'2" to 5'3". So
I
she
went over.
was 3 inches shorter than Napoleon.
That's not how so I've seen some portraits or some representations that do not reflect that.
So the same British who couldn't get his height right made her too tall.
Of course.
Some accounts suggest she appeared quite elegant and poised. She was not considered exceptionally tall, often described simply as average height. Though she was stylish and graceful, contemporary descriptions often focused on her grace, silvery voice, and elegant posture, rather than a specific documented height. She is often described as having a shapely figure.
Woo, son. Look out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So she's
that sounds
built
pretty
like
good,
a
actually.
brick house.
Ow!
But again, what did we think?
Brick.
Tall
Just
chick,
the opposite. Yeah.
way
Short
taller
dude.
than Napoleon, short dude.
Okay. Next, you're going to tell me he didn't go around always with his hand stuck in his breast pocket there. You know how they do.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? I looked at
No, it was probably.
I'm digressing.
You know,
here,
you know what it probably was. It
What
was
do you have in that
probably.
pocket,
It
man?
was some sort of fashion thing. I
It
promise.
was.
It
'cause I've
had to
seen
be.
A lot of soldiers did that.
Yeah.
I'll
Well, I do
research
that if I'm walking in the hood. It's usually
Let everybody know
for
you're
for my
packing.
shoulder holster.
You laugh, but I've actually done that. You know?
Exactly.
Yes, I've got something in my pocket.
It's like the bad guys. They know not to try to abduct the woman who's walking in the parking lot with her hand in her purse.
Exactly. Yes. Don't be a victim. Walk with your head up, shoulders back, and be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, and hand in your purse on that gigantic, what do they call that thing? Desert Eagle. Looks like a cartoon when you pull it out. It's like
Oh, yeah.
as long as
50
a
cal.
shotgun.
Yeah, you don't have to see that but one time.
Oh, America's a wonderful place. I love
It's a
America.
show about questions.
I love this show. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Graham, everybody, I just want to tell y'all, I do probably have tics, not like the kind you get out in the woods, but the kind like if you have a condition. If y'all watch us on YouTube, you will see that now coming in from the breaks, I lean back. And I just thought, you know what? I forgot I'm filming myself every day because I'm leaning back to keep my headphones from being picked up by the microphone and causing me to have a copyright violation. So I'm telling you, Sky, you need to go back and watch the video because I do this. And every time I come back in, and they're like, what is wrong with him? There's a method to the madness.
Yes. I'm glad you cleared that up because people, I guarantee you, I'll be asked about it. What's wrong?
Well, and then the British historians will say it's because I had some sort of,
equilibrium,
some sort of
disorder or
equilibrium dystrophy problem and dealt with it my whole life. Back to our boy Napoleon Bonaparte. Sky and I looked this up because we are a crack research team.
Just got to know.
Napoleon, because I thought he was weird. And at one time I thought he had like a messed up hand. He was hiding it. Okay?
Why the hands in the coat in every portrait you see? Most of them.
Because it was a common, fashionable, and symbolic portrait pose of the 18th and 19th centuries, signifying a calm authority, nobility, and modesty. Far from hiding a deformity, Napoleon adopted this hand-in-waistcoat pose, often associated with Roman orators, to project the image of a steady and thoughtful, composed leader rather than a hot-headed, aggressive one. So it was it was the thing to do.
It was a cool thing to do.
Which I think of my goofy kids.
Oh, yeah.
My son with the pseudo gang sign in every photo of him and his buddies. And I'm like, what does that mean? That's what you're supposed to do.
Just cool.
So 100 years from now, if Mac is like, ruler of the empire of the free world.
What will they write?
They will write it was a demonic, it was clearly to mean his allegiance to whatever, because it's, it's like two fingers out. It looks like hook 'em horns kind of. Or something, or the
everywhere.
Or the love thing. Is it love when you have the thumb out too? And it'll be because he had a spastic right arm and it would not work right, and her fingers were curled in from an injury of communist. I don't know.
Well, with my generation, it was the peace sign.
The peace sign.
Yeah, that's what we.
Which
did.
means I'm a vegan.
I don't know what it means.
According to British historians in 100 years.
Turns out what we thought we did, we didn't do because we didn't know or something.
Oh, yeah. You know what's funny about the peace sign? Everybody's like, peace, man. We're holding up the peace sign. The peace sign was actually the victory sign.
Right.
Which wasn't the peace sign. It was the, hey, we've got peace because we just got through kicking y'all's butts and burning your whole continent to the ground, and we nuked a couple of cities.
Funny story about that. Winston Churchill, when he came up with the V for victory sign, he was initially doing it backwards, like this, and an aide told him that in the the riffraff of Britain, that meant up yours.
Up yours. Really?
I think it works. Yes, that's not just.
I thought he was doing it because that was closer to how he held a cigar.
No, he was highbrow. He was posh, society. He didn't know that if you turn it this way, it means up yours. Up yours, Adolf.
Well, that's why I'm trying to convince people when you're driving and somebody sticks up the middle finger, as my kids say.
Salute.
I just say, well, it's because they're telling you you're number one.
That's right.
They love you. Hey, you're number one. You're the best driver I've ever seen.
Hey, if we're going to make up everything, let's go with some nice things, too. Throw that in there. I am number one. Thank you very much.
So Napoleon's hand in the coat was a fashionable pose,
yes,
possibly gathered from Roman orators.
I didn't know it went all the way back to.
That's pretty amazing. So I guess you were speaking and you had your hand in your robe. Yeah, because they tell you when you're speaking, your hands kind of feel weird anyway, right? You're giving a speech. You gotta. What am I doing with my hands? Well, just one's down the side. Put the other one in your toga.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it
I got to admit, cool. When you see the photos or the portraits, it does look dignified.
It does.
It looks like they know what they're doing, because why else would you do something like that? What do you got in there?
It's because, but apparently our view of the world is based on British historians.
Got a pocket hamster.
And he's just rubbing his chest.
What's it to you?
He has poison oak on his left chesticle.
I'm not scratching.
Are you scratching?
Looking.
No, I'm not scratching. So, all right. So what do we got today? We don't know what fascism is.
Turns out we don't.
Martin Luther King Jr. is not a Christian because he didn't believe in the resurrection or the virgin birth or a couple other things. Napoleon is not short. Josephine, Napoleon's girl, was shorter than him. And putting your hand in your chest pocket of your coat was a fashionable pose, possibly passed all the way down from Roman orators.
Pretty impressive. That's debunked a lot of myths of history.
We really don't even have to.
You didn't have to dig that far. It's a really fascinating thing. You just had to be interested.
Yeah, just had to look.
More or less, yeah. Just be curious enough to take a peek.
Did y'all see this story? That the CIA has possibly raided Tulsi Gabbard's offices?
I couldn't confirm it. I did see it. But,
there's a couple.
Looking for confirmation.
And one of the things they say they got was files on MK Ultra, which if Ann was here, we could find out more, and JFK files.
Yeah, what do those two things have in common? Yeah, they got a third hour coming up.
We're going with alleged, but there is some more to it already, based on the wording of the coverage. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
You're listening to Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling people about the program. Real quick, we're running down this. I was telling you about Disney not letting Americans see the movie Song of the South, so I looked up what year they banned it. And good old AI, you got to love the way the words are used. Disney has not technically, quote, banned Song of the South by legal decree, but rather has voluntarily withheld it from general release. Voluntarily withheld it.
Disney, Walt Disney would be, he's got to be spinning.
Well, what's funny is they released it to movie theaters. 86 was the 40th anniversary. They had released it to the movies in 46, 56, 64, 72, 78, 81, and then 86. That's how popular that movie is, that you could release it at least once a decade, a couple of times a decade, and people will go see it.
Still come to the theater and see it again and again and bring their children.
And they were allowing you to still get it in Europe, but then they came along and said, no, we're going to ban it. Not ban it, voluntarily withdraw it from everybody being able to see it because it's clearly different. Later on, and then they got rid of Splash Mountain and the whole 9 yards. And here's the funny thing. It was a portrayal of the South after the Civil War. Slavery was over.
Right.
I always thought that it was showing the people, and they're showing them singing, and they were slaves.
No, it's over.
It's post-Civil War.
Doesn't it kind of put an exclamation point on the whole topic today about history being a set of agreed upon lies, and what we thought we knew is totally opposite of what the truth is? The show wasn't racist for all those years. There was nothing wrong with it. It was good, wholesome family entertainment.
Right. And that everybody watched.
After release.
White people watched it. Black
Everybody
people watched
enjoyed
it.
And then all of a sudden, somewhere, somehow, it was decided
that it was insensitive.
And then it had to go.
And what I've read, the insensitive part is when it happened to be black folks have been working in the fields, and they're coming back to wherever, and they're like singing or whatever. They're not miserable. And
wait, they're not what?
Miserable.
I see. Okay.
And that was the really, quote, insensitive part. But the funny thing about that movie is the best human being in the film is Uncle Remus.
Say it again.
The elderly black man who cares for and is looking out for this little boy whose dad is not there, and you don't really get the whole story of why dad's not there, and they're staying with grandma out on the former plantation, and mom's a little crazy, and he's wanting to run away, and that's how he gets hurt. And the person who's looking out for him, who's teaching him lessons by telling him these stories, is Uncle Remus.
So you're saying that white folks and black folks got along wonderfully and cared for each other?
In this movie, for sure. And what's funny
no wonder
is,
it had to be banned, Scott.
Think about how liberal, because it was liberal white people, I'm sure, who got rid of this.
You think?
Liberal white people decided that millions of Americans, millions of American children did not need to see. Now, this is the honest to God's truth. Y'all don't have to like it if you don't or not. Liberal white people thought that we did not need to see a wise, gentle, old black man teaching and passing along how to be a good person and how to deal with your own personal issues and problems to a little white boy. Now think about it. I can easily spin this as the reason we can't see this. This is another one of those examples of where the crazy leftist and the Klan members agree. If the Klan guy said, hey, we don't need to be showing Song of the South. It shows a black man teaching a white boy how to be a better person. And we don't want none of that here. Turn that off. You can't watch that in America. People will believe that he said that, right?
Yes.
Exactly the
Absolutely.
same thing.
That's what you would expect.
The liberal white people did the same thing. Think about it. Liberal white people. We need to have special places for people of color. There doesn't need to be any white people there. Segregation today. Klan guy. Yeah, I've always thought that. How did the liberals and the real genuine racist end up in the same place? I would say it's because they're both racist.
I think you would have a mountain of evidence to support that theory.
It sure seems like it. But anyway, let's go out to...
And just to bring it up to yesterday, and now we have the ultra-left liberal SPLC funding racist.
The racist
Nothing
groups.
is new under the sun.
Oh, man. Can you believe it? Y'all need to try to find a bootleg copy and...
They're going to need a bootleg copy of this show because
this may be our last show.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a big like a amphitheater down there, and we could have a Alabama Unfiltered Radio
right down the river.
present Song of the South, and we'll
bring your own folding chair.
Yes,
however.
and we'll project it on a big screen. Hundreds and hundreds of people will come to see something that's been kept from them.
Yes.
And then what would Disney do? Disney would run in with their lawyers, right? And say, you can't do this because you're not. I'm like, wait. I didn't even know. Do y'all own this piece of trash? And they would have to say, yes, we own the rights to it.
We created it.
But we voluntarily withheld it from general release. Oh, what a bunch of scumbags. Scum buzzards.
Disney.
We've got 1 minute. Simpler Days can't go in 1 minute. Can they? Can they get them started?
You can get he's pretty.
Yeah, we'll get them started. We'll carry them over. Simpler Days, welcome to the program. I hope you're well.
Hi, I'm in Simpler Days. There was a ride at Six Flags in Atlanta, and it was called Song of the South. And you went through the tunnel in a kind of like a little boat, and they had all of the folks in the Song of the South in there. But of course, we moved up to more modern times, and they had to get rid of it. And
I remember there was an Okefenokee Swamp ride, but I knew that they had Splash Mountain in Disney World, but I'm not familiar with the one at Six Flags.
Yeah, this was back when they first opened, and I'm a little bit older than you.
Yes, sir.
About 20 years, so I remember that. But
cool.
I also thought that what was it? What do you call it? A racketeer? What was the term?
Rocateur.
Close enough. Rocateur.
Yes.
French.
French. Very French. It went along with
I read something else. Maybe I was thinking about something else. But it was okay for Hillary in Selma to use old Southern dialect. Remember when she did that?
Oh, yeah. She had hot sauce in her purse, too.
Yeah. But it was okay for her to do that because she had the Gold D Democrat in front of her name. Y'all have a good day.
Hey, you got it. Hey, thanks, Simpler Days. Let's take a break, and we will be right back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling people about the show. Let's get back out to your phone calls. Urbanite, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Thursday to you.
Well, happy Thursday, but you're probably not going to be happy about this phone call. I have a problem with what you're saying.
What am I? All right, wait. I gotta make sure I can hear you good. You're kind of scratching out a little bit, everybody. I want to make sure everybody can hear you. So you got a problem with what I'm saying?
Yeah, take off the speaker or the Bluetooth. Urbanite.
Do you have a Bluetooth on?
Can you hear me? Wait, no, hold on.
Hold on.
Is that better?
That's fantastic.
I'm on Bluetooth right now.
Okay.
All right. Culturally, black folks sing when they're happy, true. But they also sing when they're so frustrated they want to kill your ass.
Okay.
And singing is the way to distract them.
Okay.
So when you've been in the cotton fields and you're coming back, you're singing because you're ready to go up to the big house and just slaughter the family, but you won't do it.
Yeah, now, so you're talking about the Song of the South, which is set after the end of the Civil War and slavery.
Now, that's what I was going to get to, because you're not putting it in the context.
Okay.
After the Civil War, when y'all have been truly whooped, you Freeze and the Southerners, by the North, and they had ruined everything, every farm, everything was burned to the ground, especially in Georgia, from Sherman.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody had to cooperate just to survive, and since most of them had grown up together, be they slaves or masters, they all grew up in the same place.
Yep.
And they had to survive. And I got to go, unfortunately, and I'll catch you at some point. I have to move. I got something to do at work.
No, I got you, bro.
That's it. All right, bye-bye.
All right, man, good deal.
Well, we just got started.
We'll catch him. Well, I mean, I think it'll end up boiling down to, I think he makes the mistake of me saying or thinking that I'm saying that the portrayal of black Americans who were coming in from the fields, I do think there's a misconception that people pick cotton every day all year. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm saying harvest season was a couple of 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, my parents had to get out of school for 2 weeks to pick cotton. I mean, that's school got out so you could go pick cotton. I saw a guy on a podcast who happened to be a black American who had no idea that white people pick cotton.
I've done it, and it's not easy.
No, but I'm just shocked that we have this belief that the only people that ever pick cotton happen to be black, and that's not true. No. But I think the only thing I'm guessing, because I don't know, and I appreciate Urbanite so much, he knows that, is that I'm not saying that, okay, say they were miserable, all right? And the song and the movie has them singing. It doesn't make it like they're happy. It has them singing. But the fact that we ban a whole movie because a bunch of liberal folks don't like one scene is just unfair. When, again, the hero in the movie, the greatest person in the movie is Uncle Remus, who's telling these stories to the little white boy.
Is it possible that black people
get what I'm
never enjoyed life in the South, never had a moment of joy until the 1960s? Is that possible?
I don't know all that, but the fact that, well, then why, Disney should have just took out the scene. They take out all kinds of scenes.
It seems to be the issue as we've explored it and
is the one scene that can't be outweighed by all of the rest of the strengths of the movie. It's just funny to me.
What's wrong with but to my question again, what's wrong? That's the human spirit. That is the great
I would think that would be
of mankind.
That would be overcoming.
When you can suffer all kind when you can suffer all kind of and the human spirit still finds joy, often in God.
Yeah. That's a good point. And maybe the take is that they shouldn't be portrayed as being joyful.
Right.
When I would think a strength is if it is a joyful presentation, the ability to be joyful.
Yes. To my point.
Isn't that part of the argument for the strength of black Americans and what they went through coming out of slavery? I would think that would be a positive. But I guess it's all a matter of how you look at it. But I will say this, and you said this maybe off the air, Sky. In modern America and in Europe, I guess, because nobody else in the world has to go through all this stuff, us and the Europeans, we don't know what's, quote, bad until some liberal folks come and tell us.
Amen.
I'm serious. We don't know what we shouldn't say until liberal folks come and tell us. And they change it over time.
Right. They keep moving the goalposts.
Right.
Right. It wasn't too long ago. I mean, there was a time once when a person, wanted to cut the genitals off their children. Mm-hmm. Was insane. Okay.
And then it became okay.
Literally, clinically, criminally insane. And now it's not been so long.
It's not insane anymore. Now it's supposed to be lauded and
it's
supported.
the cool thing to do out in Los Angeles, man. Yeah.
Look at this is one of the examples I use all the time. Look at what they've done with the definitions of people who are, I think now, can you say mentally challenged? I don't know. That may not be cool.
I think that's good.
So we started out years and years and years ago, and then so people were calling people morons. And moron, I think, I may have my line of thinking here. So people started calling the word for someone who's mentally challenged, not nearly as smart as the normal person who was just kind of dull, very, very dull, was moron, I think. And so people started using moron as is it called a pejorative? They would be like, I would do something really stupid and somebody would say, Scott, you moron. Well, then liberal folks came along and said, well, that's just not right, because you got people who genuinely have a problem, and they don't need to be called morons, because everybody started using moron as a bad word. So they changed it to something else, and I don't know what it was. I think it was the R word, just because we can't say the R word now. And I think we moved to the R word, not racist, the other R word. We moved to the R word. Well, then people said, Scott, why are you being, you are, and then they, instead of saying moron, they called me the R word. So the same liberal folks came along and said, well, we can't do this now. Now the R word is a bad word. We've got to change it to something else. So they came along and said, well, you cannot say that. Now you got to say like mentally challenged or whatever. And now they're like, Scott, what's wrong with you? You're acting mentally challenged. And then they will change it again. And we're almost back to full circle, because now you can call somebody a moron, which was the original one that you couldn't. Actually, I think idiot might have been before it.
That was in there. Yes, that's in the chain.
That's in the chain. And so now we just find a new word that's no longer good because you're calling somebody who's acting that way bad. And you can't say spaz.
That was a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
So, I do.
These people just keep changing. They move the goalposts, like you said, because they get antsy about it. And they're the ones who decide what is virtuous and what is not.
It's fun to watch them sometimes. I saw one not too long ago say Oriental. Oh, man.
Oh, did they lose their minds?
Oh, the place just about collapsed.
Well, I told y'all a few weeks ago about
it was a big lefty, by the way.
About the Asian guy who said, wait a minute, why are we not using Oriental? He's like, I'm Oriental. He said, because Asians is like the whole, it's half the world.
Everybody from Laos to China.
Yes. Okay? If not further. And then he's like, wait a minute, we used to say, okay, this is this little group of countries because we're the Orientals. Here's the rest of the Asians. But who decided you couldn't do that?
Those same people.
Liberal white women, probably.
God's worst creation. I still maintain. They repent of everyone's sins, but their own. That's right.
I want to call them but there's just not a good word. There's got to be a way to call them like the Beam Club, the Beam in the Eye Club, the Beamers. Because they're all about the splinter in your eye, but they have no clue about the beam in their own eye.
No, it's the way that they see themselves as virtuous, is to condemn others.
What did C.S. Lewis say? You had the worst people were the do-gooders? Because what was it? The railroad barons, the tycoons, their powerful grip on you might sometimes... They might let off of you. But
they know that they're conscious that they're not doing
the do-gooders never, ever let up.
No, because they always believe they're right about everything.
So I will quit being a moron and take a break here. We'll be right back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back in, everybody. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I'm Scott Beason. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling people about the show. We are not going to make it into the whole CIA whistleblower claim. The claim is the CIA went to the Tulsi Gabbard's offices and pulled back JFK and MK Ultra files that they were reviewing for declassification. Now, the office is saying, hey, they didn't take them in a raid, but apparently they did take them back. So, I mean, what's the difference? Come in and I guess if they say, pretty please, we need those back, that's not a raid. If they come in with guns drawn, it is a raid. Did you take the boxes back or not?
Yeah, but it wasn't a raid.
No.
We just kind of, they strolled in.
It was a requestatory incursion.
Yeah, they didn't rush in. They strolled in.
And said, please give us our boxes back because we didn't mean to give you those boxes. We meant to pretend that those boxes didn't exist.
Right.
I told you what somebody said about that there were way more JFK files. Remember, we're supposed to get them all. Trump said release them all. And one of those former CIA guys who's not on the CIA guys list said the reason we're not getting them all is because the stuff that in them is real. It is real.
I see what you did there.
See what I also did there?
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Let's go out to Biloxi Gambler.
Just 5 more minutes, Scott. Come on, man.
Just make it to
Just
the top of the
5 more
hour.
minutes. Okay. All right. Crawdad. Or
We
who
do
did you call
Crawdad?
for?
I don't care. Whoever you give me.
Okay.
Whatever the order is.
Well, Crawdad's been waiting longer.
Hey, Crawdad. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Good morning, Crawdad. How are you?
Everybody doing okay out there?
Yes, sir. We are.
Not me. Go ahead.
I sure am tired.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Crawdad.
I sure am tired. I tell you what, the vernacular of speech has been used to disparage against people that you want to disagree with, but as a whole, not H-O-L-E, but W-H-O-L-E, the root of words and what are the origins of why we speak, the way we speak, the way we say it. I forgot what the terminology of it in general, but we've been trying to parse out for thousands of years who somebody is, not just from where they came from, but the speeches that they have been used throughout the cousins. Like in, if you speak in Badu, okay, you can have an entire language group within the Congo that speaks Badu. They can tell each other from across the street just by saying, hey, how are you? And I remember that that was not such a problem until somebody said, you know what, you should kill that guy.
Yeah.
I am tired of people who are biological organisms being dissatisfied the fact that you are a dual entity. You have a physical person, yourself, your physical body, but then you have your higher self. We've still been messing with that. If you go out and you talk to Jane Falsey, I think it was Diane Falsey, Jane Goodall.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. They were studying the higher primates, the lowland gorilla, and the chimpanzees. They got in trouble with everybody because they were finding things that disagreed with the accepted.
Yeah. Hey, Crawdad, you're breaking up, man. Let's try to get a new connection tomorrow. You're breaking up right now. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call. Where's is Biloxi Gambler here?
He departed.
Why did he depart? We have a long segment here.
Yes, we had plenty of time for him. So he was going to talk about the origin of some of the
that's what I wanted
derogatory
to hear.
terms, moron, spaz, etc. And he intended to explain how those are medical terms.
They were medical terms at one point?
Right. Yes.
Really?
Yes. And he mentioned several other retarded.
Was a medical term?
Yeah, spastic, and on and on.
Yeah, that would have been good. If you're listening, we got a couple minutes, so give us a call back. So let's go. I guess I can jump into this CIA thing if you want to. So here's two different versions of the story, and we'll dig into it more tomorrow. Fox had the story to start with, and then the Gabbard spokesperson pushed back on the reported federal raid on the office. This is from The Hill. Come on, computer. Hurry. Ashley Fields. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence is pushing back on reporting of a CIA raid in the office. This is false, Olivia Coleman said. She wrote on social platform X. She was referencing a now deleted post from Fox News host Jesse Waters about the alleged raid. She just simply said the CIA did not raid the DNI's office. Now, Waters was citing comments from Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who alleged the files related to the assassination of former President John F. Kennedy and the CIA's Project MK-Ultra were taken from the National Reconnaissance Office in Virginia. They periodically review collections of records associated with a single historically significant program and consider it for declassification. So Did they take this is where I'm wishing I was a congressman. I would be, or a real journalist. I'm a commentator. That's it. Did they come and get the boxes? Did they pull a bunch of boxes back? And if they did, why did they do so? Especially JFK files. The JFK files have supposed to have been out already. Very similar to the Epstein files. How do we not have all the Epstein files? Oh, we're protecting the innocent. Bull hockey.
Whether you call it a raid or not,
right.
The facts remain.
Yes. There is no clip or statement that exists. Why is there an orchestrated push for this in the narrative? So I don't know. Just somebody call Tulsi Gabbard and say, did the CIA or any federal organization come back and get stuff? We're going to try to be back tomorrow. Instead of me saying we're going to take a break, y'all be good, be safe. We'll try to be back. See y'all.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.